I've been thinking a lot about my pursuits in life, the diversification of hobbies, the willingness to try new things, and I've been trying to rationalize things that I do consistently as a way to motivate myself and also to find new, more efficient paths to my end goal, which is essentially being a powerful member in society that has the ability to make decisions. Now, from everything that I have found out recently about the wealthy people in society, the powerful, many of them are not particularly happy. Many of them are very emotionally intelligent. And many of them have gotten to their position by specializing. Specializing is our society's way of saying, listen, there's so many of you. If you are not particularly amazing at doing one thing that really defines you, then your worth is diminished. Now, how do I feel about this? It's a difficult thing to tackle with. I think anyone in society, any stranger that you'll meet on the street, you'll talk to them and you'll know that their happiness has come from a variety of different places. The reality is that the worth, the power that you have doesn't necessarily correspond to how happy you are. In fact, happiness, a lot of the successful people, a lot of the powerful people, success is defined in a lot of different ways, but happiness isn't even an indicator that you are living a good life necessarily. And it makes sense because what makes you happy could be drugs. What makes you happy could be going on walks or having sex, or it's this concept that your emotions, right, though very important in a primal sense, are not necessarily the thing that moves society forward, humans as a species forward. Now, is that the right way to think? I think ideally we would live in a world where the people that are experiencing the most joy and the most love are the most powerful. I believe that because with that love and joy, they would be able to spread good emotions to one another through saying, hey, look, my pursuits of trying to improve my ability to enjoy my life have gotten me into a position where I have the wisdom to make the decisions that are going to make you guys happier and probably things function more efficiently in general, a more sustainable system. So we don't currently really have that, right? We are, the reason we make machines, the reason we make these apps is because we ourselves are not necessarily capable of being as rote efficient as they are, right? We almost create these things as a foreshadowing for what we want to become. And the funny part to me is because we essentially dropped out of the evolutionary race about 10,000 years ago when we stopped living off the land and stopped using the planet, well, not even using the planet, but like stopped being a part of the planet. The evolution that we are trying to incur upon ourselves is not necessarily natural, right? It's a product of societal norms. It's a product of a kind of a groupthink mentality, a product of the person that gets the most attention wins and is the most powerful. Right or wrong hardly matters, right? In this world, it's not really about how you get there. It's if you get there, right? In a grand scheme, from the outside looking in. Obviously, from the inside, you want to be able to sleep at night. You want to be able to be loved and have cool people around you and be satisfied. So from the outside looking in, everything is pretty simple, straightforward. Oh, that person, they just do this thing all the time and it makes them happy and joyful. From the outside or inside looking out, you realize when you pursue something hard enough that it's not all rainbows and sunshine. It can't be. It can't be. The power that you are trying to accrue, that we are trying to accrue, comes necessarily from saying to yourself that I will sacrifice X amount of things that emotionally might be beneficial to me in order to reach a level where my life actually matters. And most people aren't willing to make that sacrifice. So does that make the sacrifice a noble sacrifice? Or does it make it this kind of convoluted pursuit of becoming a machine? That's it's a philosophical question, a paradox to be posed to the populace. But nonetheless, something very important to come to terms with if you decide to go and ascend this metaphorical Mount Olympus. You will have to sacrifice if you want to do it. But is it worth it? Is it worth it? The wealthy, the successful say that here are the tips, here are the tools to get you wealth, power, money. These won't work to be happy. If you're looking for happiness, this ain't it. If you're looking for happiness, go to the woods. Go live as close as you possibly can to nature and go and experience that all the time. Go and hug people and care about your neighbors and have interactions where you're trading items, where you're exchanging food. If you want to be happy, do that stuff. Do that stuff all the time if you can. But you cannot have both, I don't think. I really don't think so. And that is something that I've been tackling with. Sure. And I talked a lot about this idea that when you do something enough, consistently, you will fall into a situation where you're not particularly joyful when you're doing it. That's fine. That's work, to say to yourself that you will do that despite not enjoying it. You have to believe in something larger. You have to believe that the sacrifice is worth it. And that's why I emphasize purpose so much in this stuff. And that's why the powerful people that you'll see that are advocating for this type of mentality will advocate for purpose so much. Because if your purpose is not strong enough, the sacrifice will not be worth it. Period. Right? It's a catch-22. You can build up all the habits you want. You can regiment your day to a point where it is crystal clear what you will be doing every part of every day. Sure. And you'll make progress, sure. But you won't make progress nearly as fast as someone that is emotionally committed to doing something with that time, with that energy, with the resources that they have. You'll be playing two completely different races. In fact, one isn't even a race. One is just what a program does. And the other one, purpose-driven, is what a living organism desires, something like this soulful thing. But remember, there's going to be days, regardless, which is the funny part, regardless of what you do, there's going to be days and times in your life where you are going to not necessarily feel content with life. Regardless of whether or not you choose the road of happiness or if you choose the road of a machine. We'll put it in simple terms. There are going to be days that are against you and there are going to be days that are for you. And there are going to be moments during a day where hopefully you get to experience incredible happiness and euphoria. But there are definitely going to be moments in a day where you might experience sadness and depression. That is part of the human condition, my friend. And that is something you have to be okay with, regardless of which path you choose. So I've been thinking these things. And I will continue to push. Push. I want it so that I want to find points in my life where it is hard for me to keep going, where I have to build up more endurance to climb higher. Because I realize currently my best is not good enough. My best is not good enough. And that's fine. That's good. Because that means there's somewhere else to go. There is more to explore in this life. So just some food for thought. I do these videos every now and then of reflecting on my journey as a journal entry almost. But if you're curious about my philosophy on the meaning of finding purpose, the bigger goal of all of this, you know, if you do decide that the sacrifice is worth it, or you are curious about why some people do these things, these incredible things, check this video. I'll see you over there, my friend. And remember, actualize your potential. We need you.